Hello everyone and welcome to Talking All Elite. Hello guys and welcome to Talking All Elite. So today is our regular AEW recap. Before we get started, I just want to say that, this episode of Dynamite was really hard. And I haven't felt these feelings for wrestling. These specific feelings of grief and also happiness for wrestling in a very long time. I haven't felt this way since when Eddie passed away. So I want to, before we get started, I just want to give a special thanks to, Tony Khan, Jess Palumbo, and all of everybody involved in AEW, because that show was absolutely very respectful to the family of Brodie Lee, and also it really kind of honored his legacy, and it was something that the fans could also enjoy. So thank you, AEW, for giving us an awesome show last night. So the first match that we had, match number one, it started with a Hardy Party. Match number one started with Hardy Party versus the Young Bucks and Colt Cabana. So this match was actually a really good match. That was it's starting to show kind of that the seeds of kind of the heel change of Matt Hardy with the Hardy Party. And I feel like as a faction, they're probably going to end up kind of becoming a heel faction, or there might be some infighting, which is going to break up Matt Hardy for another either broken roll or something bigger. So this match actually ended up with the Young Bucks and Colt Cabana going over Hardy Party. And the nice thing that I noted here in my notes is that Colt Cabana actually finished it. They actually finished the match with a Melter driver, and also Colt Cabana hit a Chicago Skyline. And as he hit that Chicago Skyline, he actually mouthed the words "I love you." And he gets the W in that. So he mouthed the words "I love you" to Brodie Lee, and he got the win with that. And that kind of started putting in the seeds for Hardy's ego to kind of maybe have a heel turn. So after the match, the Acclaim came out, and they started talking some smack, and it seemed like they were actually going to say something offensive about the special until SCU came in and broke them up and started fighting them, and they all got super kicked by the Young Bucks. So this actually ended up being a nice segue to next week. So hopefully we have a nice match between, hopefully there's a nice build-up between the SCU Young Bucks and the Acclaimed. I'm really excited to see how that actually goes in the future. Okay, I have a lot of curiosity for the Acclaim, because they're a relatively new tag team. They don't really have a lot of experience outside of AEW, so a lot of hype, a lot of really great mic skills, but we're going to see how well it goes into it. So match number two, this was a very emotional match. When Eddie Kingston comes in, his mic is cut off. He's about to say something to his mic. He goes into his mic to say it, and he looks at the camera, and he's like, "Hey, where's my mic?" So he takes Justin Roberts' mic, and he says, "Brodie, I love you." And I feel like that's probably when the feels started happening for me, because once that hit, because I got so emotional there, because he said it with such genuine reaction. This wasn't any kayfabe stuff. This was all just love. And I've loved this match from the physicality between, as I noted here, the physicality between the Butcher and Lance Archer. They really sold just how behemoth these two men are. So it ended up with Stu Grayson and Evil Uno actually hitting the fatality on the Blade for the 3 count. So after this match, Eddie Kingston starts coming in, and he starts trying to, they try to fight, and Eddie Kingston basically gets his butt whooped by all 3 men, including Jake the Snake Roberts. So just seeing Jake the Snake Roberts being physical again was a nice cherry on top to all that. Match number 3. So Hangman Page versus the Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds versus Santana and Ortiz and MJF. So this match was probably, for me, it was the match of the night. The best match of the night has to go to the 6-man tag between these 6 wrestlers. It really showed just how much of a heel MJF is. He's a piece of, he's a big work. He's a piece of crap, MJF. He goes in there from the start of the show. He starts antagonizing Brodie Lee's son, Brodie Jr. He starts flipping him off. He starts screaming at him in his face. He starts, doing all sorts of stuff. This was a very high spot match, which involved a lot of big time moves between, Santana and Ortiz are always great. They're always consistent when it comes to their wrestling ability. And I think the 2 most underrated talents in AEW are probably, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. They are really good, well-versed tag wrestlers, and they know what they're doing. They've proved themselves in the indies, and now that they have a big platform, they can actually show their athleticism more. And, to boot, John Silver is a very entertaining wrestler. He's so funny to watch. Like, he's like, he has that big, he has that little man, big man kind of, weird dichotomy where he's big and he's small at the same time, and it's just really weird to see. So, yeah. I loved how JR buried him the whole match. He kept on saying, oh, he's wearing overalls. I'm like, no, he's wearing the attire, the exact replica attire that Brodie Lee wore. Anyone with a common sense would know that, JR. But that's JR just being, JR. He likes to bury certain independent wrestlers that he doesn't really know. Anyway, so MJF gets the beat down. He gets beat up, hit in the head with a kendo stick. He gets everything that he deserves of Brodie Lee Jr. After he rips his mask off, spits on it, and throws it. Brodie Lee Jr. gets the kendo stick, bops him on the head, and then Silver hits Santana with the discus lariat to honor Brodie Lee for the 1-2-3 W. So the winners are the Dark Order and Adam Page. That was a really great match. So, I love that match, just FYI. Best match of the night. Match number 4. So this match, I'll be honest, the women's division in AEW is very, very lacking. So whenever these matches come on, I get kind of I'm kind of half invested, not really invested. So I just kind of take a lot, very brief notes. So the notes that I took are that Anna Jay has grown tremendously from her initial debut in AEW Dark, and Conti and Tay, her best friend. So this was Anna Jay. Match number 4 was Anna Jay, Tay Conti. So match number 4 was, sorry, I'm reading. It was Anna Jay and Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford and Britt Baker. So I don't know who Tay Conti is. She's an AEW Dark person. They're trying to recruit her, and if I butchered her name, I'm sorry. They're trying to recruit her to the Dark Order, and she gets recruited. She gets a contract. AEW, it's a whole AEW Dark thing that they did, and they briefly did it on an AEW episode. So they brought her along as like a protege. Anyways, this match kind of is a back and forth, just simple women's tag match. There's a lot of emotion that's shared between the 2 Dark Order women, specifically with Anna Jay, and Tay. They gesture, to the heavens for him. They kind of just, they really had a really strong sisterhood that was shown throughout the match, which I really liked. Britt Baker, always phenomenal. Penelope Ford, she's also great. She's improved so much. Britt Baker says Britt Baker did not take the L, but instead it was Penelope Ford taking the pin, and I think Penelope Ford actually got locked in a Queen Slayer by Anna Jay, and afterwards the 2 women hugged after the match. 2 dark women hugged, after the match. And after that, Thunder Rosa actually comes out and starts attacking Britt Baker after she's like, there's a conspiracy. There's this big conspiracy going on, and which there isn't. That's kind of like the whole like long-term storytelling that they're doing. So there probably will be some sort of conspiracy that's gonna happen. So who knows? We might get a payoff to that. Anyways, guys, sorry I had to run real quick. I had somebody knocking on the door. The main event, the big shabam. The main event was Team Taz versus number 10, Vance, Cody Rhodes, and Orange Cassidy. So this was actually Brodie Jr.'s dream match. It was his big dream match of the night. This match was a great bell-to-bell match that showed the physicality between number 10 and the powerhouse, of Powerhouse Hobbs. So this match was really a match that kind of put over number 10 as being a, physical, he is Brodie's, protege. He is the one that Brodie Lee was, he brought the Dark Order to kind of elevate the whole group as a whole. He's kind of like the muscle. So it was a really good match that showed that number 10, this was his first, main event outing in AEW. So the fact that he was on there was awesome. So Vance comes in, does a lot of physical moves, a lot of big, suplexes, a lot of big powerhouse stuff that is, done from Powerhouse Hobbs. But you see it doing with Vance, so there's a lot of muscle in this. It is noted that Brodie Lee Jr.'s favorite wrestlers are, Orange Cassidy, Cody Rhodes, and Vance throughout the whole, whole thing of the match. So that is constantly being reaffirmed as to why these three individuals are together. So ultimately, Starks takes the L. So Starks gets the L. With Orange Cassidy giving the orange punch and Cody Rhodes with a spine buster from 10. Yeah, I forgot to mention with the Team Taz thing that Darby Allin and Sting did show up. So they're doing something with them. I can't wait for that. That's what happened. Sorry. As you can tell, Talking All Elite, it's something that it's very personal. This whole YouTube channel is just me talking about my love for wrestling. And as the show went off the air, they actually did another tribute, like the real tribute to Brodie Lee at the end. And this was, if you thought the whole other show was emotional, this was a whole new bag of beans. Okay, so they come out, they bring in, Cody Rhodes delivers an amazing promo. He's in tears, he's crying, he's just weeping. And then Brodie Lee Jr. and Brodie's family comes out, and they come in delivering the boots and the his handkerchief, and they put it in a pile, And Tony Khan comes out, and Cody, they're all there, and they say these boots are now retired. And that hit me really hard. And then the biggest thing was Tony Khan comes out with the TNT Championship, the same TNT Championship that Darby Allin was coming in. And he comes in, and he's holding that championship. And he looks at Brodie Lee Jr., and he gives him the belt, and he says, Brodie Lee Jr., you are TNT champion forever. And the feels of that. And that's awesome, because now he has the physical belt that his father, held. He's going to have that for his whole livelihood. And that is an awesome, tribute to Brodie Lee. It is an awesome way his son and his family can honor his legacy and remember him by. And at the end of the day, it was a tribute that brought not only AEW fans together, but it brought all wrestling fans together. It even brought every wrestler from different promotions together. Everyone was in unison to celebrate this man's life. And that's why that show, that tribute show was amazing, because it really did everything it should do. It was a person like Tony Khan. you know, just coming in at the last minute, you know, shifting everything together and being like, hey, we have to do this, and they did it. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be a wrestling fan today, and I'm so proud to be an AEW fan as well. Anyways, so that is all I have for Talking All Elite. If you guys liked what you saw today, please leave a comment below and tell me what was your favorite thing about the tribute show, the Celebration of Life of Brodie Lee special. Please let me know in the comments below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.